Hello and welcome back to Exothermic Plays Games. I'm Exothermic and the date today is Tuesday, September 10th, 2024. I've been doing a countdown of my favorite video games of all time through each day of the year, and coming in at number 113 is Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. When I got this game, I went into it with very low expectations. A turn-based tactics shooter with Mario? Surely, this must be a joke, I thought. What I found was instead far from a joke. It contained many jokes, yes, maybe too many, but it also contained rich, interesting combat focusing on strong fundamentals and satisfying payoffs, and most importantly, it did all of that without sacrificing the Nintendo fun magic. The story in this game is, to be honest, I don't really remember. There's an experiment in one dimension that goes wrong while the rabbits mess with the time-traveling washing machine, and it collides with the Mushroom Kingdom, making everything weird? Multiverse shenanigans ensue, and you work together to try to stop things from getting worse so you can revert everyone back to normal. The narrative isn't why we're here. Assemble a ragtag team of characters and have them strategically fight their way through hordes of corrupted rabbids across different settings throughout the Mushroom Kingdom. As you progress through the story, you unlock new teammates you can use, such as your friends like Luigi and Peach and Yoshi, but also rabbid counterparts of everybody. And when you construct your team of 3, you always have Mario and can pick one rabbid and one other non-rabbid. Each character has things they focus on, with their rabbid counterpart typically doing something similar, but in a different way. For example, both Peach and Rabbid Peach have access to healing powers. The differences between the characters make for a lot of really interesting gameplay decisions, but before we get into the more complex things, let's start with the basics. As you progress through the game, you have to solve little puzzles. Nothing crazy or anything, but things like sliding blocks here, hitting switches there, find the key, and circle back to open the alternative path. Pretty simple stuff, but charming within the world. Eventually, as you're running around, you'll find a combat encounter. The combat is fully turn-based, and each character can move and attack on their turn in either order. You can use a dash attack to do free damage to enemies, and guns have success chance percentages based on line of fire, cover, and other things. Each character also has a secondary weapon, usually a melee weapon, grenade, or what I can only describe as an explosive vehicular drone. Mario, Nintendo, rated E10+, is an everyone 10+, grenades. Anyways, moving on. Many of the weapons can contain different status effects, such as push effects to knock enemies into walls, or statuses that increase damage they take, or lock them in place. You unlock different weapons for each character throughout the game, and can spend coins you earn to upgrade them. But that's not the only way you can improve your characters. They level up and earn points to spend on a giant skill tree, helping define them into their more unique roles as time goes on. For example, the humans can jump off other friendly characters and stomp on enemies, but Peach can unlock an ability where she heals everyone she lands next to. Again, this is a free action because it's just part of your movement. She can still attack or use an ability. The mobility in the game is phenomenal, and one of the things that really sets it apart from, for example, XCOM. That's right, I think Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle has better combat mechanics as a whole than the entire XCOM franchise. Between dashes and jumps and pipes, you are zooming and beeping and booping and bopping, and you are going everywhere around the map really quickly, and it's so fun. In fact, some combat situations aren't about the combat at all, but have different objectives, like racing to a far-off location, or escorting a non-combatant character, like Toad, to safety. Regular fights do have variety and are fun, but they're generally not that challenging. I mean, like, you can play on different difficulty modes, so, it can get challenging, I guess, but there's a learning curve to some of the different types of enemies, and it's pretty approachable once you get past that. I know I said the game impressed me a lot, but this is still Mario after all. But you can find hidden challenge levels outside of progressing through the story, and some of those actually are quite difficult, so I'm glad it's there. The real fun, however, is the boss fights. They actually bake a lot of humor into these fights and the cutscenes leading up to them. Each boss has their own unique mechanic that you'll have to figure out and learn how to adjust to it. They're all fun, they're all memorable. Granted, there's not actually a lot of them, but the game definitely doesn't overstay its welcome while providing a decent amount of extra content for people that want to pursue those challenge modes I mentioned. But yeah, Opera Ghost Rabbid. The Rabbids themselves are definitely the humor of the game, especially Rabbid Peach, who spends the whole game trying to flirt with you as Mario. Somehow they found the sweet spot between creepy and boring, where it's consistently just kind of hilarious. Join me tomorrow as I talk about my 112th favorite game, where Ubisoft Montreal managed to deliver a game so charming, it feels like an indie darling.